So Chuck2624 asked a question. Says, who's winning wide receiver 3 role, Iosivas or Burton? You know, there's been a lot of chatter about Burton lately. Anybody got any take on that one? I believe it's gonna be Burton. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, 100%. Where's my camera? Is this my camera here?
Yeah.
Hey guys, Jermaine Burton's gonna have like 800 yards this season. Okay, that's your guy. Okay, that's high. That's high. But Jermaine Burton is
stick with it. You delivered hard.
3, okay, that's your guy. Mark at 8. Let's go.
So Ron is a huge Jermaine Burton guy. You know what's crazy? Let me just say a humble brag for a second. We did State of the Jungle War Room episodes, and I drafted Jermaine Burton.
Ooh.
I believe we drafted him in the second round.
Yeah.
Evan and I, if those people that don't know, we're huge Alabama Crimson Tide fan. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
And a lot of people went out there and they said to us, hey,
relax.
You know, no, there's no relaxing. They said, oh, wow, no, Jermaine Burton won't be this. And there was one guy.
To be clear, this was like a week and a half before the report came out from Dane Brugler and everybody else that there were character concerns. And this predated that by a couple weeks.
Yeah, and a lot of people were shocked. And
LSU Dan was shocked.
LSU Dan was but his recruiting, and I looked at his recruiting, and I'm like, decommitted from LSU and went to Georgia. Wonder if that has anything to do with it. Interesting, yeah.
But, you know, and when you look at a guy like Jermaine Burton, I feel like he got like a lot of flack. This is a guy that produced at Georgia. He produced at Alabama. He produced every time. And I feel like Alabama didn't allow him to run his full route tree. Let me just say this one weird thing, too. I don't know if you saw this. One of my good buddies, he does a fantastic job. I won't say his name necessarily, but he covers college football. He said, you know, Alabama is really excited about their elite star-studded quarterback and Jalen
Milroe.
And I was like, huh? Well, like,
he made big time leaps from like the first couple weeks, but like the quarterback you settle on, like you want to kind of like rewrap it and then repackage it and sell it to me next year and be like, this is this elite gift I've given you.
And the reason why I brought that up is because when we were discussing Jermaine Burton, and I was like, this guy Jermaine Burton, who I felt like he was running slants and go routes.
With Bryce, he was playing a little bit more in the slot. I think it was about 40% in the slot, doing a lot more of the underneath stuff. And then, like you said, with Jalen Milroe, when they said, hey, we're gonna run the Blake Sims power offense and then just chuck it deep whenever we feel like we can make it. That was, I mean, the A-dot was like 20 yards for him, and he was still, like Joe said, like one of the best downfield receivers, despite being a smaller guy, because he's so good at timing and finding ways to win in leverage and high point the ball.
This is a guy that when you look at his talent is undeniable. And one of Ryan Sparks says you drafted him in round 2, sir. Well, I drafted Chris Jenkins in round 2.
Well, he went in round 3 after all the concerns.
Key word there is sir, right? He got it right. Yeah, he got it right.
Well, I'm just saying, like it was. I think the draft is a crapshoot where everybody wants their guy, and they're like, okay, who are we going to stand on the table for, if you will. Right. But no, I think that Jermaine Burton is going to be a tremendous talent for the Bengals, and that's a guy that I feel very, very confident in saying what he's going to bring to the table. Let's get to some more questions really quickly.
I got to take real quick, though.
Let's hear it.
I'm trying to tally up here. It looks like the Bengals had about 1,200 receiving yards out of the slot last year. I'm going to say this year they're going to have 1,500 yards receiving out of the slot. So I'm not saying maybe it's Burton for 800. But I think getting Chase in there, I think Gesicki in there, Tanner Hudson.
Do you think he could kind of play that Jordan Addison vertical slot role? Do you think that would kind of be a way he fits in early?
I do. And I think bringing in a guy like Justin Riscotti, who would see that from Minnesota and say, all right, we need to get more play action. We need to marry the run game, pass protection.
I love what Stefanski did with Minnesota last year, man. Their offense was awesome.
So I think you get that in there. And I think with the tight ends, with the Charlie Jones, Andrei Iosivas, and Jermaine Burton, and Jamar Chase getting in there, they're going to have big numbers in the slot.
I agree. You got to feel very, very confident about what this offense can produce.